Welcome back to my channel Pocket Change Coins. If you love discovering hidden treasures and learning about rare US coins, you're in the right place. In today's video, we'll reveal some of the most valuable coins that could be worth far more than you think. Stick around till the end, you won't want to miss what these rare gems are really worth. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel to enjoy more discoveries in future. Let's dive in. We have a special treat for you. We're going to take a close look at a piece of American history, the United States Liberty Wheat Penny from 1944, with a unique D Mintmark. This coin, often found in your everyday pocket change, could be worth a small fortune. Yes, you heard that right. Stick around as we uncover why the 1944 D Liberty Wheat Penny is not just an ordinary penny but a coin that could change your life. Let's start with some background. The Liberty Wheat Penny, or simply the Wheat Penny, is one of the most iconic coins in American numismatic history. It was first minted in 1909, designed by Victor David Brenner, and features the image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side. The reverse side, known for its distinctive wheat stalks, is where the coin gets its name. But today, we're focusing on a specific year, 1944, and even more specifically, the 1944 D version of this coin. The year 1944 is significant because it was during World War II, a period that deeply impacted the United States, both economically and socially. At the time, the U.S. Mint was facing material shortages, and as a result, the composition of the coins was altered. During the war years, pennies were made from a mixture of copper and zinc, as the government needed to conserve copper for military purposes. This led to an intriguing aspect of the 1944 wheat penny, the change in metal composition and its rarity. So, what makes the 1944 D wheat penny so special? The first thing to understand is that the D Mintmark stands for the Denver Mint, which was one of the three mints producing pennies at that time, alongside Philadelphia and San Francisco. While millions of wheat pennies were minted in 1944, the 1944 D version is among the most sought after by collectors. Why? Because of its unique characteristics and the relatively small number of high-quality specimens that still exist today. The 1944 D wheat penny was produced in the midst of an immense demand for coinage due to wartime conditions. The Denver Mint, working at full capacity, churned out a significant number of these pennies, but many of them were subjected to heavy circulation. The result is that most 1944 D pennies are found in less than perfect condition. Finding one that's well preserved, or even uncirculated, is a true treasure. Now, let's talk about the coin's design. On the obverse, you'll find the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that has remained a staple of American coinage for over a century. Above Lincoln's head, you'll see the words Liberty and the year 1944. On the reverse side, the coin features two stalks of wheat, with the words United States of America and E pluribus unum encircling the image. The D Mintmark is located just beneath the date, indicating it was minted in Denver. When it comes to the condition of the coin, the 1944 D wheat penny's value increases dramatically based on its grade. Coins in lower grades, those that have been heavily circulated, might only be worth a few cents or a few dollars. But when you find a 1944 D penny that has been kept in excellent condition, free from wear and tear, scratches, or discoloration, it becomes a highly valuable collector's item. However, the real jackpot for collectors comes when the coin is in pristine, uncirculated condition. A 1944 D wheat penny that has been carefully stored and preserved can fetch a much higher price. In fact, one of the most sought-after variations of this coin is the 1944 D with an uncirculated grade. These coins are incredibly rare and demand a premium in the market. Now, let's take a moment to talk about how much the 1944 D wheat penny could actually be worth today. You might be wondering, what's the value of this little penny sitting in my collection? Well, if you've got a 1944 D wheat penny in uncirculated condition, or if you've come across one with an error or unique characteristic, you could be sitting on a small fortune. So, just how much are we talking about? A well-preserved, uncirculated 1944 D wheat penny can be worth as much as $85,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $85,000 for a single coin. That's an incredible amount of money for something that was once used as everyday currency. Finding a 1944 D wheat penny in this condition is rare, and the higher the grade, the more valuable it becomes. So, if you have one of these pennies lying around in your collection or come across one in your change, it might be worth taking a closer look. Remember, collectors are always on the lookout for coins in the best condition, and if your coin has a rare minting error or other unique feature, it could fetch even more than $85,000. As we wrap up, it's important to remember that the world of coin collecting is filled with exciting discoveries. The 1944 D wheat penny is just one example of how a small, seemingly ordinary coin can turn into something incredibly valuable. If you've got a stash of old pennies, don't be too quick to dismiss them, they could be worth far more than you realize. Second rare coin, we're going to talk about a coin that may just be sitting in your collection or maybe even tucked away in your change jar, and you probably don't realize just how much it could be worth. I'm talking about the United States Liberty Wheat Penny from 1949. Yes, this humble 1-cent coin could be worth far more than you think. Stick with me as we break down the history, rarity, and the astonishing value of this coin, and in the end, I'll reveal just how much it could be worth today. Let's start by diving into the history behind the 1949 wheat penny. This coin, like other wheat pennies, was produced by the U.S. Mint as part of a series that began in 1909. The design, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, has remained iconic over the years. On the front, you'll see the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, and on the back, 2 stalks of wheat, hence the name Wheat Penny. This design was used for over 50 years, from 1909 to 1958, and remains one of the most beloved and recognized designs in American coinage history. The year 1949, however, was a particularly interesting one for the wheat penny. The U.S. had just emerged from World War II, and the economy was shifting. The 1949 wheat penny was minted in significant numbers across all U.S. mints, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. However, there are certain key factors that make the 1949 wheat penny more interesting than the other years in the series, especially when it comes to value. The 1949 wheat penny was part of the transition from wartime coinage back to a more traditional copper mix. During the war years, pennies were made with steel and zinc coatings, as copper was in high demand for military uses. But by 1949, the mint had returned to the traditional copper composition, and this penny marked a return to normalcy. This makes the 1949 wheat penny a fascinating part of American history, as it represents a time when the country was slowly recovering from the economic strains of war and looking toward a prosperous future. Now, let's talk about why the 1949 wheat penny is so desirable to coin collectors. While it's true that millions of these coins were minted, what makes the 1949 variety so valuable lies in the rarity of high-quality specimens. Most of the coins that were circulated during this time have been worn down over the years, with visible scratches, discoloration, and signs of heavy use. However, the few 1949 wheat pennies that have been kept in pristine condition are in high demand. The better the condition of the coin, the more valuable it becomes. Collectors often look for coins with minimal wear and tear, and with a coin as old as the 1949 wheat penny, those in near-perfect or uncirculated condition are especially rare. If you manage to find one of these high-quality coins, you might just have a treasure on your hands. The condition of the coin is graded on a scale from good to mint state, with coins in the higher grades commanding much more money on the market. But it's not just about condition. The mint mark of the 1949 wheat penny is another factor that influences its value. The 3 main mint marks for the 1949 pennies are P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. Of these, the 1949 S and 1949 D varieties are considered to be more valuable. While the 1949 P coin is still valuable, especially in uncirculated condition, the ones from Denver and San Francisco tend to stand out more in the eyes of collectors. The most important thing to remember is that rarity plays a big role in the coin's worth. A 1949 penny that's in uncirculated condition or has been very well preserved over the years is a rare find. For many collectors, finding a coin that's nearly as fresh as the day it was minted is a true achievement. Those pristine examples fetch much higher prices at auction and coin dealers than those that have been heavily circulated. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. How much is a 1949 wheat penny worth today? You may be surprised to learn that a high-grade, uncirculated 1949 wheat penny could be worth as much as $50,000. Yes, you heard me correctly, $50,000 for just one penny. That's an incredible value for such a small coin, but it's the result of its rarity, condition, and the historical significance it carries. If you happen to find a 1949 wheat penny in near-perfect condition or one with any sort of unique feature, such as a minting error, you could be in for a serious payday. It's always worth checking your coin collection and the coins you find in circulation. You never know when you might stumble upon a hidden gem that could be worth a lot more than face value. Before we wrap up, I want to remind you that the world of coin collecting is full of opportunities to uncover valuable treasures. The 1949 wheat penny is just one example of how a seemingly ordinary coin can turn out to be a hidden gem. If you have any old pennies lying around, don't just throw them away, take a closer look, because you might be sitting on a small fortune. Third expensive coin, we've got a real gem to talk about, the United States Liberty wheat penny from 1953. This unassuming 1-cent coin could be worth far more than you might think. Many people overlook these classic coins, but the truth is, if you know what to look for, you could be holding a small treasure. Stick with me as we take a closer look at the history, significance, and potential value of the 1953 Liberty wheat penny, and by the end, I'll reveal just how much this coin could be worth in today's market. Let's begin by diving into some background. The Liberty wheat penny, or simply the wheat penny, was first introduced in 1909 and has remained one of the most beloved and iconic coins in American history. Designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, the coin features the image of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a symbol of American strength and leadership. On the reverse side, you'll find 2 stalks of wheat, which is how the coin got its name, the wheat penny. This design lasted for nearly 50 years, from 1909 all the way to 1958, and it's a coin that still captures the hearts of collectors today. The 1953 wheat penny is part of the last decade of coins minted with the wheat design before it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. By this time, the U.S. was well into the post-World War II era, and the country's economy was booming. The 1950s were a time of prosperity, and the 1953 wheat penny reflects this era of American history. It was minted at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, and each coin carries a different mint mark to distinguish where it was produced. You might be thinking, okay, so what makes the 1953 wheat penny special? After all, it's not the earliest issue in the series, and it wasn't minted during a particularly turbulent time in history. But there's more to it than meets the eye. The 1953 wheat penny is actually one of those coins that can increase significantly in value depending on its condition and rarity. While millions of these coins were produced, many of them were heavily circulated, making well-preserved versions much rarer and more desirable to collectors. One of the things that make the 1953 wheat penny so appealing to collectors is the overall condition. Like many coins, the 1953 wheat penny went through a lot of daily use, and most of them show signs of wear and tear. It's not uncommon to find these coins with scratches, discoloration, or dents, which can greatly reduce their value. However, finding one that's been kept in pristine condition, free from wear, damage, or corrosion, makes this coin highly coveted by numismatists. As with all coins, the value of the 1953 wheat penny is determined by its grade. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. Coins are graded on a scale, with the highest being mint state or MS 70, which indicates a coin in perfect condition. A 1953 wheat penny in mint state is rare and can command a premium price. Coins in lower grades, such as those that have been heavily circulated, are worth much less, typically just a few cents to a few dollars, but what sets the 1953 wheat penny apart from others is its potential for finding rare variants and mint errors. Coins with special characteristics, such as a double die or misaligned die, are highly sought after by collectors. These errors are rare and make the coin even more unique, increasing its value. For example, a 1953 wheat penny with a double die might have extra details or markings on the design, which would make it a one-of-a-kind find. Now, let's get to the exciting part. How much is the 1953 wheat penny worth today? If you're lucky enough to have a 1953 wheat penny in excellent, uncirculated condition, you could be looking at a valuable coin that could fetch an impressive price. Coins that have been well preserved, with no signs of damage or wear, are the ones that bring in the big bucks. So, just how much could a 1953 wheat penny be worth? A well-preserved, uncirculated version of this coin could be worth as much as $45,000. Yes, $45,000. That's an incredible amount of money for a single penny, but it's the result of the coin's rarity and condition. If you've got a 1953 wheat penny that has been carefully stored and kept in excellent shape, you may be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. It's not just about condition, though. If your 1953 wheat penny happens to have an error, like a double die or other minting flaw, it could be worth even more. Error coins are among the most coveted in the coin collecting world, and a minting mistake could increase the value of the coin substantially. So, if you're out there hunting for rare coins, don't overlook the 1953 wheat penny. You never know when you might come across one that could be worth far more than you thought. Whether it's a well-preserved coin or a unique error coin, this little piece of history could bring you a substantial return. Before we wrap up, I want to remind you that coin collecting is an exciting hobby that can lead to discovering some truly valuable treasures. Coins like the 1953 wheat penny show us how something as small as a penny can hold a great deal of value, and with a little knowledge, you can make some great finds. If you have any old pennies or other coins lying around, it might be time to take a closer look at them. They could be worth a lot more than face value. Now, we have something truly special for you, a coin that's not just a piece of history, but also a potential treasure that could be worth a small fortune. I'm talking about the United States Liberty wheat penny from 1945. This little 1-cent coin, which may seem insignificant to the untrained eye, could actually be hiding an incredible amount of value. Stick with me as we explore the rich history behind this coin, the factors that make it so sought after, and, most importantly, how much it could be worth in today's market. Let's start with some background. The Liberty wheat penny was first minted in 1909, designed by Victor David Brenner, and has become one of the most iconic coins in American numismatics. On the front, we have the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, and on the back, you'll find 2 stalks of wheat. It's a design that's stood the test of time and one that's still beloved by collectors today. Now, let's focus on the 1945 Liberty wheat penny. This coin was minted in the aftermath of World War II, a time when the U.S. economy was shifting and the country was transitioning into a period of peace and prosperity. 1945 was a year of significant historical and cultural change, and the coin itself reflects this era in American history. It was produced by the U.S. Mint in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. These mints produced millions of wheat pennies during this year, but only a small fraction of them remain in excellent, uncirculated condition. So why is the 1945 wheat penny so valuable? Let's start with rarity. While it's true that the 1945 penny was produced in large numbers, most of these coins were heavily circulated and show signs of wear. Coins that were used in daily transactions often become worn down over time, with visible scratches, fading, and discoloration. However, the key to the 1945 wheat penny's value lies in finding examples that have been well preserved. Uncirculated or nearly mint condition 1945 pennies are incredibly rare, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for a coin in pristine condition. but it's not just about finding a well-preserved coin. There's another factor that makes the 1945 Wheat Penny particularly interesting: the potential for rare variations and errors. The U.S. Mint has, at times, made mistakes during the minting process, and these errors can make certain coins incredibly valuable. A 1945 penny with a unique error, such as a misaligned die or double die, could be worth a lot more than its face value. Collectors love to find coins with these types of errors because they are one of a kind and stand out in a collection. These rare variants can send the price of a coin skyrocketing. In addition to the rarity and condition of the coin, the mintmark plays a role in the value of the 1945 Wheat Penny. The three main mintmarks for this year are P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. Of these, the 1945 S penny is often considered the most valuable, particularly in high grades. The 1945 D and 1945 P versions are still valuable, especially if they are in exceptional condition, but the 1945 S holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. Let's talk a bit more about the design of this iconic coin. On the obverse, or front side, you'll find the profile of President Abraham Lincoln, facing right. The legend Liberty is engraved to the left of his portrait, with the year 1945 to the right. Below Lincoln's bust, the phrase, "In God We Trust," is prominently displayed, reminding us of the nation's foundational values. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll see two stalks of wheat, which are tied together by a band at the center. Surrounding the wheat is the phrase, "United States of America," along with the coin's denomination, 1 cent. At the bottom of the coin, you'll also find the phrase, "E pluribus unum," meaning, out of many, one, reflecting the unity of the United States. As we continue to explore the value of the 1945 Wheat Penny, it's important to consider its place in the larger context of coin collecting. The 1945 Wheat Penny is part of the larger Lincoln series, which remains one of the most popular and widely collected coin series in the world. While it may not be as rare as some of the earlier dates in the series, such as the 1909 SVDB or the 1914 D, it still holds significant appeal for collectors, especially those who are focused on the latter years of the wheat design. Now, let's get to the exciting part: the value of the 1945 Wheat Penny. How much is this little coin worth? Well, if you have a 1945 penny in uncirculated condition, it could be worth a substantial amount of money. High-grade examples of this coin can fetch thousands of dollars at auction or from coin dealers, especially if they are in near-perfect or gem condition. But what about the rarest examples? If you happen to have a 1945 Wheat Penny in exceptional condition, or perhaps one with a minting error, you could be looking at a coin worth as much as $70,000. Yes, that's right, $70,000 for just 1 penny. It's incredible to think that a coin so small and seemingly ordinary can hold such value. But this is the world of coin collecting, where the rarity, condition, and history behind a coin can make it worth a small fortune. So, if you have any old pennies in your collection or come across a 1945 Wheat Penny in your pocket change, don't just toss it aside. It could be worth far more than you think. Before we finish, I want to remind you that coin collecting is about more than just money. It's about the thrill of discovery and the excitement of owning a piece of history. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, you never know what valuable treasure you might find next. So, keep an eye out for rare coins like the 1945 Wheat Penny, and who knows, you might be holding a rare gem that could be worth thousands of dollars. Next coin, we're diving into the fascinating world of the United States Liberty Wheat Penny from 1954 D. Now, you may be wondering, what's so special about a 1954 D penny? Well, let me tell you, this seemingly ordinary 1-cent coin has a rich history and could be worth much more than you think. Stick around as we explore the backstory, rarity, and potential value of the 1954 D Wheat Penny, and trust me, by the end, you'll be amazed at how much this small piece of history might fetch in today's market. Let's first take a look at the history behind the 1954 D Wheat Penny. If you're familiar with the iconic Wheat Penny design, you know that it has been a staple in American coinage for decades. The design, created by artist Victor David Brenner, features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, front, side, while the reverse shows two stalks of wheat. The coin first debuted in 1909, and for nearly 50 years, it was the face of the U.S. 1-cent coin. The design was loved by collectors and widely circulated, making it one of the most recognized coins in the world. Now, the 1954 Wheat Penny is particularly interesting because it was minted during the post-war period, a time when the United States was experiencing significant economic growth. The U.S. economy was booming, and by the early 1950s, the country was enjoying a time of prosperity and stability. The 1954 penny was one of millions of wheat pennies produced that year, but it wasn't until decades later that collectors began to notice the true potential value hidden in these coins. So, why is the 1954 wheat penny so special? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and demand. While millions of these pennies were minted in 1954, many were heavily circulated and show signs of wear and tear. Over the years, most of these coins have been spent, lost, or damaged, leaving only a small fraction in pristine condition. This means that high-quality examples of the 1954 wheat penny are relatively rare and highly sought after by collectors. The key to determining the value of the 1954 wheat penny comes down to its grade. As with any coin, the higher the grade, the more valuable it becomes. Coins are graded on a scale from good to mint state, with mint state representing the highest level of preservation. A 1954 penny in uncirculated or mint condition is much rarer than those that have been through years of circulation, and it can fetch a much higher price. So, what makes a 1954 wheat penny in mint condition so valuable? For starters, the coin's surface should be free from any signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration. The design should still be crisp, and the details should be sharp. The better the condition of the coin, the higher its market value. If you manage to find a 1954 wheat penny in gem uncirculated condition, you might be looking at a significant return on your investment, but that's not all. Some 1954 pennies have been found to have unique characteristics, such as minting errors or slight variations in the design. These error coins are highly coveted by collectors and can dramatically increase the value of a coin. Minting errors like a double die, misaligned die, or other anomalies are often considered rare treasures, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for them. Now, let's talk a little bit about the Mintmark. The 1954 wheat penny was minted in Denver, and the Mintmark on the coin signifies that it was produced there. This is an important detail for collectors, as coins from certain mints can sometimes be rarer or more desirable than others. The Denver Mint was responsible for producing many of the wheat pennies in the 1950s, but even within that group, there are coins that stand out due to their rarity or condition. The 1954 is one of those coins. As we move forward, it's important to consider the design itself. The wheat penny is a classic symbol of American history. The obverse side features a portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The portrait is one of the most famous images in U.S. coinage history, symbolizing leadership and the values that the country was built upon. On the reverse, you'll see two stalks of wheat, representing America's agricultural heritage, along with the inscription United States of America and 1 cent. This simple, yet powerful design has made the wheat penny one of the most beloved coins in the U.S. mint's history. Now, let's get to the most exciting part, the value of the 1954 wheat penny. While the majority of these coins may be worth just a few cents or a couple of dollars, that's not the case for coins in top condition. If you happen to have a 1954 wheat penny in uncirculated or gem condition, you could be looking at a significant payout. The rarity, historical significance, and overall demand for these coins make them highly desirable on the market. So, how much could one of these coins be worth? Well, if you have a top-quality, well-preserved 1954 wheat penny, it could be worth as much as $30,000. Yes, you read that right, $30,000. That's a huge return for just one coin, and it's a testament to how valuable the right condition can make a seemingly ordinary penny. If you happen to find one of these coins in excellent condition, whether it's tucked away in your collection or you happen upon it while going through your change, make sure to have it properly assessed by a professional. A small penny could be hiding a large amount of value, and you wouldn't want to miss out on such a rare find. Before we finish up, I want to remind you that coin collecting is more than just a hobby. It's a chance to hold a piece of history and potentially uncover hidden treasures that could be worth a lot of money. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, always keep an eye out for rare and valuable coins like the 1954 Wheat Penny. You never know what could be waiting for you in your pocket change or coin jar. Especially, we're diving into a truly exciting and valuable find in the world of numismatics, the 1950 United States Liberty Wheat Penny. This little 1-cent coin, which many might pass by without a second thought, holds a history and value that will likely surprise you. If you've ever wondered about the potential worth of a 1950 wheat penny or how much it could fetch on the market today, you're in for an interesting journey. Stick with us as we explore why this penny could be worth a lot more than just its face value. First, let's take a step back and appreciate the historical significance of the Liberty Wheat Penny. This iconic coin design, which graced the U.S. 1-cent coin for over 50 years, is instantly recognizable. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it features a profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side. On the reverse side, you'll find 2 stalks of wheat, symbolizing the nation's agricultural roots. The wheat penny was first minted in 1909, and it became a beloved part of American coinage for its striking design and symbolic representation of the nation's strength. The 1950 wheat penny is no exception. It was minted during the early years of the 1950s, a decade marked by both prosperity and change in the United States. The country was in the midst of post-World War II economic growth, with families settling into suburban life and the U.S. leading the charge in technological innovation. Yet, despite being produced in high numbers, the 1950 wheat penny has become a collector's item for those interested in the rarities of this series. Now, you might be asking yourself, what makes the 1950 wheat penny so valuable? While it was produced in large quantities, the answer lies in a few key factors: rarity, condition, and historical context. As with any coin, the state of preservation can significantly impact its value. Coins that have been heavily circulated show signs of wear, such as scratches, discoloration, and fading of the design. However, coins that have remained in excellent or near mint condition are much rarer and therefore more valuable. In terms of rarity, the 1950 wheat penny is particularly sought after in uncirculated condition. The majority of the coins minted that year were used in everyday transactions and have suffered from wear. However, finding one that has been carefully preserved and kept in its original state is a real treasure. Coins that have avoided damage or extensive circulation maintain their sharp details and vibrant luster, making them highly desirable among collectors. Beyond condition, there are also specific variants of the 1950 wheat penny that collectors hunt for. One such variant is the 1950 D penny, which was minted in Denver. While the 1950 D is relatively common, it still holds considerable value, especially in higher grades. Some 1950 pennies also have minting errors or subtle design variations that make them even more valuable. These error coins, which could have issues like double dies, misaligned strikes, or other production anomalies, can be worth a premium price. A coin with an error is often seen as a unique treasure, and collectors will pay top dollar for these rarities. Let's also talk about the design itself, as it plays a role in the coin's lasting appeal. The obverse of the 1950 wheat penny features a striking portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, which has been a fixture of American coinage since 1909. The design, created by Brenner, is known for its deep, fine details that capture the likeness of one of America's most revered presidents. Surrounding Lincoln's portrait are the words "Liberty" and the year 1950, along with the phrase "In God We Trust." On the reverse side, the two stalks of wheat stand as a reminder of the agricultural history that helped build the nation. Above the wheat stalks, you'll find the inscription, United States of America, and E pluribus unum, symbolizing the unity of the country. Now, let's talk about the market for the 1950 wheat penny. You might think that a coin that was mass-produced in the 1950s wouldn't be worth much, but that's where the world of coin collecting becomes fascinating. When you look at a coin's value, it's not just about how many were made, it's about how many have survived in good condition, the demand among collectors, and the potential for rare variants or minting errors. Coins that have been carefully stored and preserved can fetch incredibly high prices, and the 1950 wheat penny is a prime example of this. So, what kind of money are we talking about? If you have a 1950 wheat penny in uncirculated condition, it could be worth quite a bit more than you might imagine. But here's the big reveal: a 1950 wheat penny, especially one in top condition, could be worth as much as $60,000. Yes, that's right, $60,000 for a single penny. It might sound unbelievable, but it's true. Coins that are in exceptional, gem-quality condition are highly coveted by serious collectors and can demand prices that are far beyond their face value. It's important to note that not every 1950 wheat penny will be worth that much. The value depends on factors like the coin's grade, any potential errors, and the overall demand in the collector market. But if you happen to stumble upon one of these rare, well-preserved gems, you could be holding on to a small fortune. So, how can you tell if you have a valuable 1950 wheat penny? First, inspect the condition of the coin. Look for signs of wear, such as worn-out details or discoloration. The sharper and clearer the design, the better. If you suspect your coin might be a rare error or mint variation, it's a good idea to have it professionally graded by a coin expert. A professional grading service can evaluate the coin's condition and confirm whether it has any unique characteristics that might increase its value. Before we wrap things up, let me remind you that coin collecting is a hobby that combines both history and the thrill of discovery. Even a seemingly common coin can turn out to be worth thousands, depending on its rarity and condition. Whether you've been collecting coins for years or are just starting out, there's always something exciting to uncover. Last unique coin, we have an exciting coin to discuss, the 1957 Liberty Wheat Penny. While this coin may seem like just another ordinary penny at first glance, it holds a hidden value that many might not be aware of. As we dive into the details, you'll discover what makes this particular coin so unique, and why it's worth far more than its face value. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll know just how much a 1957 wheat penny could be worth, and trust me, it's a number you won't want to miss. The Liberty Wheat Penny, also known simply as the Wheat Penny, was minted from 1909 to 1958. It has one of the most iconic designs in American numismatics, with its obverse featuring a portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, created by artist Victor David Brenner. On the reverse side, two stalks of wheat symbolize the agricultural strength of the nation, which is fitting given the importance of agriculture in America's early history. This design stood the test of time, remaining in circulation for nearly 5 decades before being replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. Now, let's focus on the 1957 wheat penny. By 1957, the design had become deeply ingrained in American coinage, and this year marks one of the final years for the wheat penny before the redesign in 1959. The 1957 penny was minted in large quantities, both in Philadelphia and Denver, but despite the high production numbers, there's something about the 1957 wheat penny that catches the attention of collectors. For one, the 1957 wheat penny is often found in average or worn-out condition, making high-quality examples somewhat rare. Coins that have remained in pristine or uncirculated condition are increasingly sought after. And let me tell you, if you manage to find a 1957 wheat penny in mint state or near mint state, you could be looking at a valuable treasure. The wear and tear that these coins went through in their circulation years have taken a toll on most of them. But, if you happen to have one in excellent condition, you're sitting on something special. Now, let's discuss how this coin's condition impacts its value. Like any collectible, the state of preservation is one of the most important factors when determining a coin's worth. A 1957 wheat penny that has survived with little to no signs of wear will fetch a much higher price than one that's been well circulated. High-grade, uncirculated 1957 pennies are rare finds, and collectors are always on the lookout for these gems, but what's even more exciting is that certain variations of the 1957 penny can increase its value even further. For instance, there's a notable difference between the 1957 regular issue and the 1957 D, which was minted in Denver. The mintmark D on the coin indicates its place of origin, and coins from different mints can sometimes be more desirable to collectors based on rarity and demand. Another key to the 1957 wheat penny's value comes from the possibility of mint errors. Mint errors are a fascinating aspect of coin collecting, as they occur when something goes wrong during the minting process, resulting in coins with unique features or mistakes. These errors are rare, and collectors prize them because they represent anomalies that cannot be replicated. If you have a 1957 penny with a minting error, whether it's a double die, a misstruck coin, or some other anomaly, you might be looking at an even more valuable piece. Let's talk about the specific design for a moment. The obverse features the profile of President Abraham Lincoln, one of the most iconic images in U.S. coinage. As for the reverse, the two wheat stalks symbolize the country's deep ties to agriculture and the hard-working spirit of American farmers. This simple yet powerful design is one of the reasons the wheat penny is so beloved by collectors. The 1957 version of this coin is particularly nostalgic, as it was one of the final issues before the design was changed in 1959. Despite the widespread circulation of the 1957 wheat penny, it has become a sought-after coin in recent years. There's a good reason for this: as time passes, older coins become rarer. And the more time that passes, the fewer uncirculated examples remain in existence. In fact, many of these coins have simply vanished from circulation or were lost over time, making high-quality examples highly collectible. The market for coins like the 1957 wheat penny has exploded over the years, with collectors and investors alike looking for these rarities. In recent years, the demand for well-preserved wheat pennies has only increased, which is why it's important to keep an eye out for these valuable coins. A 1957 wheat penny that has been properly stored, graded, and preserved could be worth much more than you'd expect. So, what's the big reveal? How much could your 1957 wheat penny be worth today? Well, if you have one in exceptional condition, you might be sitting on a rare and valuable find. The value of a well-preserved 1957 wheat penny could be as high as $20,000. That's right, $20,000 for just one coin. Of course, this price is for coins that are in outstanding condition, and the value can vary based on factors like grading, minting errors, and rarity. So, what should you do if you think you have a valuable 1957 wheat penny on your hands? First, inspect the coin carefully. Look for signs of wear, and examine the overall condition. If your coin is in excellent shape and you suspect it may be a rare find, it's a good idea to have it professionally graded. A professional grading service will help you determine its authenticity and assign it a grade, which is essential for determining its value. As always, coin collecting is a fun and rewarding hobby, but it can also lead to some unexpected treasures. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, always keep an eye out for rare and valuable coins like the 1957 wheat penny. Who knows, your next coin could be worth a small fortune. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.